Okay, today's topic is going to be a discussion on the antioxidant role in the role of neutralizing free radicals that are generated by various things in our environment. And I'm going to explain a little bit how the free radical does some damage, and then I'll be also talking about some antioxidants to help neutralize their adverse effects on the cell. We have a picture here of a cell, basically a simple diagram. This would be magnified about 5 to 10 million times, so you can imagine how small a cell would be. But all these things that we have depicted here operate within the cell itself. We have the nucleus, which is the control center for all the chemistry that takes place. We have a lysozyme here. We have the cytoplasm, which is the matrix where all the chemical reactions, or most of them, take place. And then we have some cell organelles that there are also chemistry will take place in that, and they do various things, like the mitochondria is the energy producing entity for the cell itself. We have Golgi bodies, which are here in endoplasmic reticulum, and serves as a messenger for the RNA, DNA, and such things here for the cell to do all of its work. We're surrounded all the cell matrix with a cell membrane, and each one of these organelles also contains a membrane itself. And where free radicals come into play, they can do damage to the cell membrane, both the outside the cell membrane and the inside also. But then the free radicals can also damage the chemicals that are within the cell itself and create problems, both for the cell membrane and also for the chemistry. Free radicals are defined as being any molecular species capable of independent existence that contains an unpaired electron in an atomic orbital. The presence of an unpaired electron results in certain common properties that are shared by most radicals. Many radicals are unstable and highly reactive, which means that they can complex with other chemicals within the cell and render them inactive. That's why they are dangerous to a living system. Some of the examples of free radicals would be that causes free radicals to form are radiation, smoke, chemicals, pollutants, ozone, and there are many other things too that can come into play, such as pesticides and drugs and other things that can create those things also. Today we're going to talk about some of the anti-free radical properties of some of your food supplements, such as selenium, vitamin C, lipoic acid, turmeric, N-acetylcysteine, vitamin E, and these particular substances, Camping Survival has put together in a package, a 6-bottle package for a 60-day supply of each one of those ingredients. What takes place with these elements is that they are known as antioxidants. They can neutralize the free radicals that have been generated. And one of the things we'll talk about today will be radiation. It's been in the news lately that we are experiencing problems around the world with Iran, with North Korea, and a high probability of some type of nuclear holocaust. I hope does not occur, but the probability is very, very high at this point in time. So it would be beneficial that you may want to have on hand a supply of antioxidants in case we are exposed to radiation from, say, nuclear events. And the nuclear events, they produce a tremendous amount of radioactive fallout. And these are the things that can generate radiation for a long, long period of time. the half-life of radioactive cesium and strontium is in the 50 to 100-year range, and we would be subjected to a lot of that in our environment immediately and for some time after, depending on where the fallout precipitated. Right now, we are still getting radioactive fallout from Fukushima and Japan, and also Chernobyl, and and also they're just now seeing where we are having a breakdown of structure at the Hannaford plant in Washington that is also releasing some radioactivity into the air. So we have not only the radiation factor of perhaps we should have antioxidants, but also California and the West Coast right now is experiencing a tremendous amount of forest fires and producing a lot of smoke in the air that's staying there for a long period of time. Smoke is an element that can also produce free radicals and expose the body to these things. So something to be considered, to be taking maybe extra of these antioxidants in the presence of the smoke that we have. And also if you're living in a high polluted area, like that produces a lot of ozone in the summertime, like a lot of your larger cities and major cities. So you may want to consider where you're living, what you will possibly be exposed to, and you may want to consider having some of this on hand. These things are also, you can take those on a daily basis, and it would be of benefit or beneficial. The antioxidants will prevent the buildup of damage to the inside of the cell, and from whatever the cause may be for the free radical generation. And so at this point in time, I think we're living in an era where these things need to be looked at and prepared for. It's just what we're living in.